Okay, by the time others join, let's do it very quickly. The volume of blood pumped out by each ventricle per minute is how many milliliters? Milliliters. How many milliliters? Not liters. We just did it. Tell me, beta, how many milliliters was it?
5,000.
Yes,
5,000.
5,000 liters. And when I talk about liters in a healthy individual, then it is how much?
5
5
liters.
liters.
Yes, it
5
is 5.
liters.
The duration of a cardiac cycle in seconds?
0.8.
0.8 seconds.
Very good. During a cardiac cycle, each ventricle pumps out approximately 70 ml of blood. This is called as a dash volume.
Stroke
Stroke volume.
Stroke volume.
Stroke volume.
The stroke volume multiplied by dash gives the cardiac output.
heart rate.
Yes, heart rate or heartbeat. The heart beats how many times per minute?
72 times
70
per
to
minute.
70.
Times
Okay.
per minute.
Next question from this paragraph, the sequential event in the heart which is cyclically repeated is called
Cardiac cycle.
cardiac
Cardiac
cycle. The
cycle.
cardiac cycle consists of systole and
Diastole.
Diastole.
it consists of systoles and diastoles. So this part is done. Let's go down a little. This is simple. We'll start from here. Heart sounds we have done. Better do this. During each cardiac cycle, two prominent sounds are produced. This lub dub sound, this part you do, only this, 4-5 lines. That's it. From during each cardiac cycle to diagnostic sequence, that's all. Are we done with this paragraph, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Sure?
ma'am.
All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Though it is a small one, beta, but it's an important one, so I thought I'll take it separately.
Ma'am?
Beta, saying something?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it means that a doctor would hear approximately 144 sounds in a minute when he is using a stethoscope.
They don't even listen for a minute. Okay. See, basically, we are going to study about what? In 1 minute, you want to know, na? Let me explain the stethoscope part to you. Just give me 1 second. What function have you read about stethoscope? Quickly, let's do this very quickly.
It intensifies the voice, the sound of the contraction of heart.
Okay. Beta, others also. Come on, participate. Something nice, something interesting she's asked. And why do we need to amplify? Like she's used the word intensify. She actually means that we need to increase the sound. So, why do we need to amplify the sound?
Because the
Just now
sound is
she
quite
told us that,
weak.
yes, it's very weak. Okay. She just now gave us a figure per minute. How many times did she say, beta? Come on, children, tell me. You all heard what she said.
144.
Pardon?
144.
140.
144 times.
Ma'am,
See, beta.
144.
See, this is the perfect ideal one. But normally what happens is it's for everybody, it is not ideal condition. So it ranges somewhere between 120 to 160. Is it okay? If it is less than 120, then it's a matter of concern for the doctor. If it is more than 160, again a matter of concern. But if we say ideally, then ideal conditions kabhi bhi nahi hota hai. Similarly, when we talk about BP, what is the ideal BP? Blood pressure. What is the ideal value of blood pressure for a healthy individual human? Come on, everybody. What is the normal value of individual, normal healthy individual for blood pressure? What is the
90 and
lowest value?
120.
Pardon, bache? It's
90 and 120.
no, beta. It is 80, 120.
80 and 120.
Okay. The lower side is how much? 80. It should not be less than 80. And the higher side is how much?
120.
120.
120. How many of you have a BP
120.
instrument at home? What is it called? You've done it in 8th or 9th class or 10th class. I don't know. The instrument, the device with which you measure blood pressure.
It's
What is it called?
sphygmomanometer.
Yes, yes. Good, you remembered it. Sphygmomanometer. How many of you have it at home? Somebody has a blood pressure problem at home nearby. Have you ever seen somebody measuring BP?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, I
ma'am.
have it.
Yes, ma'am.
You have it. Did you ever try and check your BP?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it perfect 80, 120?
It was somewhere in between.
Yes. People are young, absolutely healthy. At this age also, we don't get an ideal value for blood pressure also. 80, 120 तो बेटा बहुत ही perfect. This is just the ideal value. नहीं मिलता है ये value कभी भी. Similarly, here also, it will range somewhere between 120 to 160. Though no doubt, ideal value is what you said, 144. What did you read about this? Each cardiac cycle has dash prominent sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many?
2.
Okay. The cardiac sounds can be easily heard through a
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope.
what is the spelling?
STETHOSCOPE.
When you come across such words, see the spelling. What is the second heart sound called?
Dub.
Dub.
Yes. Next question. Lub is associated with the closure of dash valves.
Tricuspid and bicuspid wall.
Tricuspid and
Very good.
bicuspid.
Lub is associated with closure of which valves?
Semilunar walls.
Lunar wall.
Please learn this. This is very important. We are going to do this. We've got two sounds. First sound is called as
Lub.
lub. And the second sound is?
Dub.
Dub.
Which sound is associated with closure of semilunar valves?
Dub.
Dub sound.
And which one is associated with closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valves?
Lub.
Lub.
Okay, this is the only little thing left. Let's do it quickly. Let's do it together only. We are all familiar with this TV ECG. What is the full form of ECG? Let's have this first question possible.
Electrocardiograph.
This machine is called as electrocardiograph. And now graphical representation of electrical activity of the heart during a cardiac cycle is what we call as ECG. So this graphical representation is called what? Electrocardiograph or electrocardiogram?
Electrocardiogram.
Electrocardiogram.
Yes.
Electrocardiogram.
Move on to this, again a nice one. So we are doing an ECG. A patient is connected to a machine with how many electrical leads?
3.
3.
3. Okay, one is connected to each of the wrist and to the
Left
ankle.
ankle.
yes. So we have 3. Very good, beta. Listen carefully. We got 3 leads. One will go to each wrist, right wrist and left wrist. And the third one, where will the third one go?
Left ankle.
Left ankle.
Yes. Apart from these three, multiple leads are attached to which region of the body?
Chest.
Chest region.
So be
Chest
very
region.
careful. If it is an ECG, three main leads, one to each wrist, one to the left ankle, and many on the chest region. Next one, each peak in the ECG is identified with a letter from P to
T.
T. This is very important, very important. Which wave represents the electrical excitation or depolarization of the atria?
P.
P wave.
Yes, it is the P wave. Which
P wave.
complex represents the depolarization of ventricles?
QRS
QR.
complex.
QRS complex.
QRS complex.
complex. Okay. Which wave represents the return of the ventricles from excited to normal state? That is the repolarization.
T
The
wave.
T. T wave.
The end of which wave marks the end of systole?
T wave.
T wave.
Okay, very good. By counting the number of which complexes, one can determine the heartbeat rate of an individual.
QRS complexes.
QRS complex.
Which wave represents the electrical excitation or depolarization of atria?
P
P
wave.
wave.
P wave.
P wave.
And which complex represents the depolarization of ventricles?
QRS complex.
QRS complex.
QRS complex.
Good. And the next one, which wave represents the return of the ventricles from excited to normal state?
T
T.
T wave.
So depolarization is which wave? Depolarization of atria.
P wave.
P wave.
Depolarization of ventricles.
QRS
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 complex.
complex.
And repolarization of ventricles.
T wave.
T
T
wave.
wave.
So there are two waves and one complex. You should know this. Repolarization of ventricles.
QRS
complex.
This you have already done, that the T wave represents the repolarization. What does it represent? It represents the repolarization. So basically, how many waves and how many complexes have you revised?
Two
Two
waves
waves
and
and
Waves
one
and one
complex.
complex.
Yes. We just said that the blood pumped by the right ventricle enters the pulmonary artery and the left ventricle will pump blood into the aorta. Beta, you know that all the deoxygenated blood is passed on to the lungs. Obviously, in the lungs, it will get oxygenated and then the pulmonary veins will carry it. So this is pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary means lungs. The word pulmonologist is a person or doctor who deals with lungs. So remember, pulmonary means lungs. So the deoxygenated blood is reaching the lungs. There it is getting oxygenated and this oxygenated blood is now being carried. Okay. So this entire circulation is known as pulmonary circulation because what is involved in this? What is pulmonary?
Lungs.
Lungs. So what kind of blood reaches the lungs?
Deoxygenated blood.
Yes, and then it gets oxygenated and this circulation is what we call as which circulation?
Pulmonary circulation.
pulmonary circulation.
So this now the blood is oxygenated after pulmonary circulation. It will go to the entire body parts and collect which kind of blood? Deoxygenated blood. This is another kind of circulation. What is this circulation called as?
Systemic.
Systemic circulation. देखो बेटा, deoxygenated blood went to the lungs, वहां पे oxygenate हो गया. And when it came out of the lungs, it is oxygenated blood. So this is pulmonary circulation. अब lung से जो निकला वो oxygenated blood था. So this will go to all the arteries, फिर arterioles, tissues, सब जगह चला गया oxygenated blood, and it is going to collect the carbon dioxide. So it is now deoxygenated. This kind of a circulation is known as systemic circulation. Systemic circulation is very important because it gives nutrients, oxygen, and it takes away carbon dioxide and harmful substances. What are the two things which systemic circulation provides?
Nutrients and oxygen.
Nutrients
Nutrients and
oxygen.
oxygen.
And it
Oxygen.
takes two things from the tissue. What are the two things it takes from the tissues?
CO2
and harmful
CO2
substances.
and harmful
harmful
substances.
So this is systemic circulation. It is very important for the body because it is giving oxygen and nutrition and it is taking away harmful substance and carbon dioxide. There is a unique vascular connection between the digestive tract and the liver. It is called what system? Connection between digestive tract and liver. What system is it called?
Hepatic portals.
Hepatic
Portal
portal system.
Everybody, unique vascular connection between the digestive tract and the liver. What is it called?
Hepatic
Hepat-
portal
Hepatic
system.
portal.
Yes, beta. What is the work of this hepatic portal vein? Basically, it will carry the blood from the intestines to the liver before it is delivered to the systemic circulation. Before the blood goes to the systemic circulation, this vein, which is known as hepatic portal vein, it will carry the blood from the intestines to the liver also. Okay. Last sentence. A special coronary system of blood vessels is present in our body for circulation of blood to and from the cardiac musculature. We have a very special coronary system, which you know is known as what system? What is it basically called as? It is your cardiac cycle, cardiac system. Very special system is there. Regulation of cardiac activity. We have done. Normal activities of the heart are regulated, auto-regulated. Heart works on its own. Okay, this is again, it is auto-regulated by special muscles. That is why a heart is called as which kind of a heart? Myogenic.
Myogenic heart.
Which kind of a heart it is
Myogenic
called?
heart.
Yes.
Myogenic
Because it is
heart.
very good, because it is auto-regulated. It controls itself by special muscles. And that is why our heart is known as a myogenic heart. Which kind of a heart it is? Because it is controlled by muscles, beta?
Myogenic heart.
Myogenic heart.
Yes. There is a special neural
Myogenic heart.
center, yes, in the medulla oblongata, which can moderate the cardiac functions through ANS. Moderate means it can control your cardiac function. You don't have to do anything. Your heart works on its own only. Neural signals to the sympathetic nerves can increase the rate of heartbeat. You know that the neural signals can increase the rate of heartbeats also. And the parasympathetic neural signals decrease the rate of heartbeat. Let me do this once again with you. Which ones are going to increase the neural signals? Which ones will increase the heartbeat rate? Come on, speak with me. Which signals, beta?
Neural
Signals.
signals.
Yes. And the parasympathetic neural signals will decrease the rate of heartbeat. The neural signals, the sympathetic ones will increase and the parasympathetic ones will decrease. Which ones will increase, sympathetic or parasympathetic?
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic.
Yes. And which ones are going to decrease?
Parasympathetic.
Parasympathetic.
Yes. This is the part which I was just discussing with you very quickly, last part. Hypertension, you know, high blood pressure, the normal blood pressure level just now we discussed, it was 120/80. Okay, 120/80 Hg. What is Hg?
Mercury.
It is mercury, millimeters mercury. If it is above 140, we say that the person is showing hypertension. Hypertension means high blood pressure. This is very harmful because it affects two very main organs of our body. Hypertension, no? It affects two main organs of our body. Can you name the two organs very quickly? They are on your screen.
Brain and kidney.
Brain and kidney. So what is the normal value of BP beta, blood pressure? 80?
120, 80.
120.
So if it is higher, when we say 80, 120, Hg stands for mercury.
Mercury.
And high blood pressure is called hypertension. High blood pressure is called what?
Hypertension.
Hypertension.
Hypertension affects two main organs of the human body. Which are the two main organs?
Brain and kidney.
Brain and kidney. Then we
Kidney.
come to coronary artery disease. This is known as atherosclerosis. Everybody with me. Coronary artery disease is also called
Atherosclerosis.
Sclerosis.
This is caused by deposition of fat, cholesterol, calcium. Because of this, we have this disease which is known as CAD, coronary artery disease. Then this is angina. ये तो बहुत common है. You must have heard this word. What is angina? Acute chest pain. And this occurs when not enough oxygen is reaching the heart muscles. If the heart muscles do not get enough oxygen, there's a severe pain in the chest. This pain is called as angina. This can occur in men and women of any age, but it is common among the middle-aged people. This is a symptom of heart attack. So this is the first step. When oxygen is not reaching the heart muscle, there's an acute pain in the chest. What is this pain called as?
Angina.
Angina.
So basically oxygen is not reaching, so it is angina, beta. And if your heart is not pumping the blood only, then it is heart failure. Understand the difference? Pain kab hoga when enough oxygen is not reaching, and that pain is called angina. And if heart is stopped pumping blood,
Heart failure.
acute chest pain, what is it called, beta?
Angina.
Angina. And the
Angina.
heart failure, which is called by congestion in the lungs, what is that called?
Heart failure.
Heart failure.
Which kind of a
Heart
heart failure
failure.
is this? Which heart failure? Congestive heart failure. What is this heart failure called?
Congestive heart
heart
failure.
failure.
Congestive, because it is caused by congestion in lungs, so it is called as congestive heart failure. This is all you need to revise in these disorders. Full form of CAD, other name for CAD, and then this pain which occurs because enough oxygen is not reaching, the exact spelling. And when the heart does not pump blood, then this is heart failure. Heart failure, which is caused by congestion in the lungs, is called as congestive heart failure. I took a few minutes extra. Sorry, dear. I just wanted to finish off this. Now you have an exam for other subjects as well. Okay, you can leave the meeting, Richa. Have a nice day. God bless you all.
Ma'am, are
Thank
cardiac
you.
arrest and heart arrest two different things?
Yes, beta.
Are cardiac arrest and heart arrest two different things?
Beta, if you go into medical science, yes, they are different. Yes, they are different. I'll just send you an audio. Few minutes, huh? Yes, they are different. I'll just tell you how. Okay. Abhi to let them leave the meeting. The class time as it is, it's 10 minutes I've taken extra. I'll tell you, okay? I'll let you know. I'll just send you a video, audio.
Okay, ma'am.
Bye, beta.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
God
ma'am.
bless. God bless you, bachas. God. अच्छा, देखो they have come. मैं कुर्ता पहन के जाती हूँ, तुम डोर खोल के बिठाओ. ये देखो क्या हालत है घर की. मैंने कहा था कुछ. पानी पिलाओ. ऊपर ना कोई शीट डाल दो लाके. ये मैट बिछा दो. पंखा लगा देना है. मोटर बंद कर दो बेटा. और मीटिंग क्लोज कर दो. नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार.